9 students from Lyndon McKinley High School in Columbus, Ohio, ventured into the woods of Kentucky's Carter Caves Park to discover the world of entomology.
The focus of this trip is to provide high school students with the opportunity to learn about insects in the field.
So, what is entomology? Entomology is the study of insects. The best way to study insects is to collect them. But how? These are active collecting techniques.
We started them with some just basic butterfly nets, and so you use these nets for just catching insects that are flying in the air, maybe on a flower. Then we also learned about sweep nets, which are types of insect nets that you actually move back and forth and you drag through grass, and this is very good for catching things like grasshoppers that hide in tall weeds. Then they also, we went to some different lakes and creeks in order to begin to do some water collecting. So we had dip nets and things in order to collect insects from water.
These are passive collecting techniques.
We talked about doing a black light collecting, which is where you use a black light, you put a sheet around it and it collects insects. Then we also did a yellow pan trap, which is what insects are attracted to flowers will come to this. You put water and soap in it and they sink into the water and you collect insects that way.
So let's review. You can collect insects actively or passively. The active being with butterfly nets, sweep nets, or aquatic dip nets. Passive being black lights or yellow pan traps. What's next? Once the insects are collected, they need to be identified. Insects belong to the kingdom Animalia and the phylum Arthropoda. So all insects have 3 body segments, 3 pairs of legs, antennae, and wings.
So we're teaching the students how to identify what a beetle is, what a wasp is, what a termite is, and be able to at least take them down to order so we can say, hey, this is how you separate these into a group.
Here are 7 major types of insects: Coleoptera, Hymenoptera, Diptera, Orthoptera, Lepidoptera, Hemiptera, and Homoptera.
Beetles all belong into Coleoptera because they have specific characteristics, and then bees, ants, wasps all belong in Hymenoptera, which they have specific characteristics as well.
What does it take to study insects?
So along with learning about entomology, they also want to learn about the basis of the scientific method.
The scientific method.
Particularly like forming a hypothesis, designing an experiment, forming your conclusion to be able to begin to move past just their basic ideas of what they learned in science class to actually being able to apply research into entomology. So they'll be collecting insects, they'll be performing experiments in the field.
First, ask a question.
We had to figure out what solution would affect the mealworm's growth, like either positively or negatively.
Construct a hypothesis. If coal ash is more toxic than wood ash to mealworms, then the coal ash should affect the lifespan and behaviors of the mealworms to a greater extent.
Our hypothesis was that coal ash will kill them quicker than it will be wood ash, and oatmeal will have no effect on it.
Test the hypothesis with an experiment.
We were measuring the change in shape, change in color, and the change in behavior. We used coal ash, wood ash, water, and oatmeal. There's a small amount of wood ash in this one.
So our control group was oatmeal and water. Then we compared our control group to the other containers which contained, like wood ash and coal ash.
Examine the results. How do they compare to the predictions?
We thought that, the coal ash would probably kill them faster because, it's coal and everything. But actually, it turned out that the wood ash killed them a lot quicker.
Oh, I would run from bugs before I came here. I think now that I'm able to identify more bugs and stuff and be less scared of them.
Hood boy, bug camp, fast foundation. Yeah, some are big and some are tiny. Some are dull and some are shiny. Some come around in different time. Oh, somebody can't believe find me. About bugs not being slugs, just because they're a bug that I never ever heard of. Mosquito larvae. It's crazy how they live in the water. And we gotta write about see if they grow. So you all know how that go. We gotta see if they grow in hot or cold water. Buzz not slugs, but buzz not slugs. Buzz not slugs, but buzz not slugs. Yep. Man, this stuff is getting old. Frank Sinatra ain't gon' stun. It's cool. At least we ain't gotta do as much work as
we do in school.
Buzz not slugs, but buzz not slugs. Buzz not slugs, but buzz not slugs. Yep. Buzz not slugs, but buzz not slugs. Buzz not slugs, but buzz not slugs.